Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $2.96. It looks like XRP is starting to move upward once again. And look at that. We came down to $2.82 perfectly. And that's what all the chart guys were predicting. A drop to $2.82, and then we start to blast off. Let's hope this upward movement continues. And even Bitcoin right now is starting to break back up as well, sitting back above 114K. It dropped all the way down and touched 112K earlier today. And everybody's starting to give that "we are so back" narrative once again. But that's where we are right now. And as long as we continue upward from here, then it looks like the breakout for Bitcoin is going to continue, taking the rest of the market with it. Welcome to the parabolic season. And they're talking about Bitcoin. They're expecting that one last push up for Bitcoin. I still think it's going to fall short of 150K. But no matter what, if you're a retail Bitcoin holder, I would definitely cash out on the next major move up and get that money positioned into something that's going to have better returns, something that actually has utility. Why October could be the make or break it month for XRP. So they're citing SEC rulings on XRP ETF applications. Institutional inflows hang on approval timelines. A lot of those are set to be approved by the end of October. Ripple's national bank charter decision. I don't think that's going to happen until later this year or early 2026, unless they fast track it. And there's a good chance that that will happen. Price reaction and volume breakouts above $3.20. Our failure to hold $2.90 are key technical indicators. We need to see XRP move back to $3.30. Once that happens, that'll solidify we are on our way. On-chain behavior and liquidity. Exchange flows offer early signs of buildup or distribution. Narrative momentum shifting into altcoins. As attention grows, early pre-sale projects may benefit from capital rotation. I still see so many people saying XRP is going to be last to move. If those ETFs get approved, XRP may lead us into alt season. I still think the XRP ETFs are going to play a very big factor in this cycle when it comes to flipping Bitcoin. This 60-day countdown could make XRP millionaires. Here's what's coming. And again, they're citing the ETFs. But we're looking for so many other things outside of the ETFs. That's just one part of the perfect setup for XRP. You still got to factor in the case coming to a complete close. We're still waiting on the courts for that to happen. You also got to factor in clarity coming from Washington. That's going to be that'll give a very big boost to utility-driven cryptocurrencies. Then you start to look at ISO, possible value coming from that as well. Ripple could make another acquisition or two. Look at what they're doing now. They're out there loaning money to Gemini and Bullish. I'll talk more about that in another video. 470 million XRP gets dumped by whales as price nosedives. XRP has fallen below $3, posting a 17% loss over the past month amid whale selling. and they're citing delays on the XRP ETFs. Everything that they talk about now is focused around those ETFs. They are a very big deal. I agree with that. But the reason that XRP dipped, it's following Bitcoin still. Bitcoin dips, taking the rest of the market with it. We've seen it so many times along the way. We need to decouple from Bitcoin. I think XRP would look a lot different if we weren't following Bitcoin. XRP ETFs in Canada hit $285 million AUM with 100 million XRP holdings. So we already see the demand for the ETFs coming out of other countries. When the spot ETFs get approved in the United States, that's going to be a very big game changer because it doesn't take a lot of money to move the price of XRP. And I think we're going to see a lot of XRP continue to be locked away in those treasuries as well. What I'm telling you is what we've seen up to this point is nothing compared to what we're still looking forward to. You know, everybody's still living in the past. Well, in the previous cycle, this is what happened. This is where the market cap went. Market cap does not matter to XRP. And I'm no longer living off of previous cycles. I'm looking down the road at the future of where this is going. And look at another ETF filing. Breaking news, Title Trust 2 has filed Defiance Leverage Long XRP ETF with the US SEC. And that is, I think, number 21. So think about that. 21 XRP ETF filings. We're still waiting on BlackRock as well. I think BlackRock is going to wait until the last minute, but they're going to signal it is go time. BlackRock tends to rule Washington. You know, whenever something happens, a financial crisis or anything, Washington always turns to BlackRock. BlackRock filing for a spot XRP ETF will give the go signal for approval on all of these ETFs. I think that is what we're actually waiting on. And I'm figuring they will probably file for their ETF sometime between now and the beginning of October. Larry Fink will most likely shift the narrative and say, yes, we're going to go ahead and file for an XRP ETF. This is massive. Institutions want it. We want to make sure BlackRock capitalizes on it. They will sell it on the mainstream media news when the time comes. XRP is in a 5-year accumulation versus Bitcoin. We've been in this spot before, but not for this long. What happens when this breaks out? So you could see it back here. And here's the 2017-2018 run. There was accumulation and then a massive breakout. And look at what happened with the price of XRP. It went all the way from less than a penny to over $3. Now, we've been accumulating for all of these years. What do you think is going to happen when XRP breaks out? This run is going to be absolutely epic. People just don't see it yet. They're so quick to FUD all over XRP. Wait until it breaks out. That FUD will be gone. Nobody will want to talk about XRP. And HSBC, the timeline for crypto adoption, has accelerated as a result of regulatory clarity and AI. What am I always telling you? It looks like the timeline is changing. Take a listen to this.
Is going to come, isn't it? Two questions. One is in terms of a sense of time. How has the sort of time horizon shortened for you in the last 12 months? Like, was something that you thought was going to happen in 5 years' time? None. When do you think it's going to happen? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I think the whole crypto story has just been accelerated. But actually, the whole crypto story has been really fast. Bitcoin's white paper was 2008. We're 16 years in. And the US president has basically said the US wants to be a global leader and it's going to underpin the new financial markets and global financial system in 16 years. And if you add AI, which is not the topic of today's discussion, if you add AI into the equation, which is going to really help accelerate this even further, because there's a really nice, coordination between AI and blockchain and crypto, it's going to speed it up even more. And we're moving to a world where finance is going to be completely transformed. It's, people say, and it's a global financial system, but the majority of the world are not participants. And crypto is really solving the access issue. It's giving individuals with anyone around the world internet connection and a digital asset wallet to participate in financial markets and to have access potentially to US dollars. These are people that never could access US dollars. So it's really going to change the game, and it's going to bring more people into global financial markets, and it's going to enhance wealth creation for everyone involved. And so it's great to see administrations and regulators really starting to appreciate that side of the equation. So considering Bitcoin's 16 years old, I'd say we're doing pretty well.
Like she said, everything is accelerating, and AI is going to speed up things even more. The fourth and fifth industrial revolutions colliding together, and we're also holding the robot money. So when the rise of AI begins, you're going to get rich because of that. When the rise of cross-border payments really begins and starts to intensify, we're going to get rich off of that as well. But it's all happening now. Everything that we've ever talked about over the past couple of years is all coming together right now in real time. The timeline is no longer 2030. That was just a good indicator from back years ago. It was like, okay, so let's put a timeline on this. 2030 seems like the year it's all going to happen. It's already happening. We're going to start to see CBDCs going live in other countries. We're going to see the rise of stablecoins even more. We're going to watch robots also rise up at some point. That's still very early, but it's accelerating. And blockchain and AI colliding together is going to give you generational wealth. Just in August 19th, 2025, Wisdom Tree calls XRP the tactical onshore play for institutional portfolios. XRP documented as a top focus for sophisticated investors. And of course, right there's the documentation. When the institutions start to flood into this space, everybody thinks that they're going to spread out. Like everybody's going to capture like 1 to 5%. The XRP ledger was already well positioned for institutional adoption. I think the XRP ledger is going to end up capturing, and I'm going to be conservative here, at least 10% of institutional adoption. Stellar's going to capture some, Hedera's going to capture some, and so on. But I think the XRP ledger, because of the way it's positioned, will get the upper hand on the competition. In the past 4 hours, XRP drops 10 cents, a $10 billion market cap move, only $18 million in net outflows on Upbit. So remember the market cap multiplier? Well, that goes both ways. Money in drastically moves the price of XRP. Small amount of money moves the price of XRP. But a small amount of money leaving XRP also drops the price in the same way. But the market cap multiplier is really going to come into play when the institutional inflows really start to hit XRP. That's how we're going to get to a 3-digit XRP in the short term, in my opinion. Because you're going to have a lot of XRP being locked away by these companies that want to create XRP treasuries. At the same time, you're going to have the ETF money flowing in. So eventually, as demand continues to rise, we're going to start to see possible scarcity in the short term mixed with inflows and more XRP getting locked away. It's like the perfect storm is setting up for this cryptocurrency. But think about that. $18 million in volume in outflows resulted in a $10 billion market cap loss. So 18 million in will push the market cap by $10 billion as well. But the multiplier works in both directions. And like I said at the beginning of this video, all I want to see happen now is XRP continuing upward. I would not say it's go time yet. I'm not ready to do that quite yet. But I'm optimistic we are going back above $3 again. Let's see what happens. And until it does happen, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.